Hi, this is Leaf Path for Now Art with a drawing time lapse, my very first drawing time lapse. I'm doing a sort of commission for my friend in Canada, and he really loves birds. This is a bearded vulture, and they eat bones, which, if that isn't the most metal thing you've heard today, I don't know what your life is like, but it sounds amazing. They also roll in clay to make themselves look pretty, which is just adorable. And it's just, I really love these birds, okay? You can see here that I started with really light pink to sort of block in where the biggest shadows would be. That's kind of how I work, is I work lightest to darkest, and the one I'm using right now is a CR3 Spectrum Noir, and I kind of showed it to the camera, but when I was recording, I forgot that I was going to be speeding up the footage. And so you probably can't read any of the markers, so I'll kind of name them as they come through, if I can remember which ones I used. It's been overnight, so who knows? It was a tired stupor in which I drew this, which is probably why the lighting is so bad, is because I was doing it in the middle of the night. So, lesson learned, I guess, except I'm probably going to do it again, because that's how I do. I'm using the CR2 now, which is only a little bit lighter. You see I already switched off of it. There's a CR5, and I'm putting in the darkest shadows now. Or not the darkest, but I guess kind of like the mid-tone shadows. And I'm really trying to define little feathers on her head, and the big mane of feathers that just sits around her neck of awesomeness. And I'm really trying to make sure that those stick out in the way that they're supposed to. I don't know if I defined them quite as much as I wanted to, but I do like the way it looks, so I think that's pretty good. Let's see. Oh, there I go again with the CR3. Don't know why I showed it to the camera again, but whatever. I guess I thought maybe, but I don't know. But I'll be using the CR3 again to blend the CR5 into the lighter shadows to give it just, more of a smooth look, I guess. I didn't do that everywhere because the feathers lay over each other in such a way that would cause sharp shadows, rather. Sorry, my mouth is just not working. And that's something you should remember when you're shading something that has a lot of overlapping parts, is that sharp shadows really help to define that and just make it look really three-dimensional, I think. Of course, you can blend it out if you want. I'm sure it'll look just fine. That's just how I do it. More blending. I used those two colors for a very long time. Yeah, that's the CR3 again. This is the first time I've ever done a voiceover, so it might be weird. I don't know. My voice is pretty weird as it is, so we'll see how that goes. Oh, here I go swatching. I decided that the Vulture was starting to look a little bit like cotton candy, which was not what I was going for, so I shaded her in with blue in the very darkest of the shadows, and that really helped to make her look more like a living creature and less like a statue made of bubblegum. I mainly put that blue right in the places where the feathers overlapped, and then down on her shoulder, because the feathers there are actually supposed to be just darker. So I did that. I don't think I got exactly the effect I was looking for down on the shoulder, but I think it looks pretty good overall. It doesn't look like the picture, but then again, this is me using a colorless blender. Oh, and that other color was B24. Sorry, that was a Copic, not a Spectrum Noir, so the colors are a little bit different. Trying to scrub the pencil off of my poor white tip that's just ruined forever now. It will never be the same. There I go again. Oh, and there's my head. But yeah, I used the colorless blender just to blend it into the yellow wood a little bit, and I actually used the yellow of the wood to keep some of the highlights, just to add a little more color variation. And that color right there that I'm using now is a BGR2, which is a blue-gray 2, if I think. What? It's a blue-gray 2. That's what it is. I got the chart in front of me. But, yeah, that's in the Spectrum Noir lineup. And I'm using that to define some of the little spots around her face that kind of look like they're supposed to be feathers on the picture, but they kind of look like tribal markings when I do them. And I don't think I hate it. I think that's kind of cool. So, you know. She still looks really yellow right now, which goes away here later. That one that I'm using here is a GG4, and I'm using that to darken some of the shadows around her eye that is already a dark color. There I go in with the B24 again. I don't know if I'm supposed to list off all the things that I do. I expect I'll get better at this, so bear with me. But she was really fun to do because I've never really done... I've done animals before, and you know, animals have fur, which is, you know, should be as detailed as feathers, but it doesn't always work that way, and my animals tend to look a little flat. So I thought that maybe doing something with feathers would be fun to, like, get better at drawing animals in a more three-dimensional way, and I really enjoyed doing it, so yeah, we'll see if it helps, but I think that fur is just still going to be hard for a little bit. But, you know, I'm happy with the way it looks, and I think that's really the important part. Rest in peace, my colorless blender tip. I'm going in with a Prismacolor colored pencil now to add in the highlights, and the color I'm using is light peach, and that one was really good and it went really well, because usually I use white to do my highlights like that, but I thought it would look better if I used a color that was more in touch with the color scheme, I guess. And I really like the effect it gave, because I think if I used white, it would have been a little too much. So I think that worked really well. And I'm just using it on the face now, because the face is mostly white, so I used the peach to lighten it up a little bit and get rid of some of the yellowish. And I think that looked really good. And now I'm using, I don't remember the color that I used, but it's a really dark blue, and I'm just using it to define the spots again over the colored pencil. And I'm doing the beak now. I almost forgot to do the beak, not even kidding. That's a BG3. The beak was fun though, because it's just a little bit shiny, and I actually just used my pencil to do her mouth. Because, you know, who needs pins, right? Hopefully that is gonna stay. It seems to work for now, but who knows? Oh yeah, that little highlight on just the very rounded part of the beak was like my favorite part of the whole drawing to do, not even kidding. Yeah. I'm just working still to bring out some of the colors and to deepen the deepest shadows and bring out the highlights, and I was really happy with how the feathers looked, so I was shimmering it around in the light. That was me just cleaning up the edge of the beak a little bit with a little eraser. That's a TN4. I'm using it in the eyeball now, which was a really fun part to do, because her eyes are red like the rest of her. You go, girl. She's awesome. I don't remember all the colors I used in the eye. I think I used CR8 for the red part, and then probably just GG4 again for the black part. It doesn't matter because I cover it up with pin here in a minute anyway. The eyeball actually gave me a lot of trouble because I colored the red inside where the white part was supposed to be, and I had a lot of trouble covering it up. So yeah, you see here I'm trying to cover up that red with the colored pencil, and it just wasn't covering. So here I am with paint, and please, I'm so bad at paint. I don't use a palette at all. I just squeeze it straight from the tube, so like the top is just gross and covered in paint all the time. Oh, but you know, it works. I'm just cleaning up some of the edges again, giving them some little feathery lines, I guess. Darkening the tip of her beak, and oh, there you go. I'm going to color around the outside, and I'm sorry that I'm so out of frame for some of this. It's because I have to keep it kind of close to my body so it doesn't like get loose, and if it rolls then the marker will move, and I once markered right over a fully finished piece trying to color the sides, and it was probably the most painful experience I've ever had. But yeah, it's almost done now, and I had a lot of fun with this, as I said, and I think I'm probably going to do more birds. I might also do like a coloring page of this picture. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that, but I think it would look cool. So that's just me trying to cover up some of the bleed, because that navy blue got everywhere and it just bled right onto the edge of her feathers, but I think it looks okay. Trying to fix the background. I did not record the background. I forgot. And it's done. That was really fun. I had so much fun with this piece. I think I might do an owl next. Those are awesome. So yeah, thanks for watching, and subscribe for more drawings like this. Thank you for watching. I said that already. Bye.